Imagine being a 6th grade boy in the United States right now. What are you hearing at school? What are they telling you on the internet? Well, they're telling you to stop being yourself, sit still, stop joking, suppress your aggression, share your feelings, obey. Female qualities are virtuous, masculine qualities are oppressive. So it's probably not surprising that Andrew Tate was the most Googled man in the world last year. He offers a different vision.
Tucker Carlson uploaded episode 9 of his new Twitter show, and in it he interviewed Andrew Tate in a really soft interview that lasted about 150 minutes. Now, as soon as the interview starts, Tate goes on to misrepresent the criminal charges he's facing in Romania, and it only gets worse from there with absolutely no pushback from Tucker Carlson himself. Without further ado, let's watch Tate try to explain the charges he's facing.
So what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a financial crime?
It looks that way, and it's very interesting because the girls who they've identified to add to the file are saying that we're not victims of anything and this isn't true. But the state believes it's true, and the state thinks that I, as a 35-year-old man, woke up. I was already extremely financially successful. I was already a father. I was already very well known. I had no financial motivation. I have no criminal record. It's not my personality profile, but I woke up at the age of 35 and decided to make girls do TikTok to enrich myself with the pennies that I would earn from TikTok views.
So in the United States, I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking, and their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
Now, while he hasn't been convicted of the charges that have been filed against him in Romania, I do want to offer some clarity on what he's actually charged with. Romanian authorities say 7 women were lured to Tate's home in Romania. They say after entering the home, the women were forced to make pornographic webcam videos, a little different from TikTok videos. And one woman was raped on 2 different occasions in March of 2022. Multiple women have spoken out about alleged abuse by Tate. Again, this is all alleged for now, but these are the charges that he is dealing with. While in the interview, he claimed he never restrained their movement or prevented them from living a full life. Tate stated in a since archived YouTube video about the women, quote, "Of course they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house. You don't go anywhere. No restaurants, no clubs, nothing." And Tucker, of course, did not question Tate on any of these comments.
Yeah, so this is what Tucker Carlson does. He greatly misleads his audience on purpose. He does it all the time. So where's the rape charge? They just we're making innocent TikTok videos. So if you don't know any of the facts, which is an enormous percentage of Tucker Carlson's audience and Andrew Tate fans, well then you'll be super mad. You'll be like, oh my God, this poor guy. He just talks to some girls and they made some TikTok videos and they made a couple of pennies.
So wholesome.
And he's being persecuted. That's because you never heard about the rape charge and you never heard about the physical coercion and you never heard Andrew Tate's own words saying, yeah, I don't let him out of the house. I mean, look at how outrageous that misleading interview is and how they do it on purpose. So guys, look, there's a part of the charges about emotional coercion. If that's all they had, I would say that is, in my opinion, not good enough. Emotional coercion is disastrous and horrible, but it's not necessarily a crime in my opinion. So there's a difference between being deeply immoral and being illegal, but that's not all they have. They have physical coercion. And like physically restraining people from leaving the house, let alone the rape charge again. And everything Tucker does is misleading. That intro that we showed you guys, they are discriminating against 15-year-old boys. And they don't want him to make jokes. Who said that? Nobody said that. Literally no one has ever said a 15-year-old boy should make jokes. And then they discriminate.
Whoever said that girls' behavior is virtuous and that boys should act like girls.
Nobody said that.
No one has literally ever said that.
Yeah. On the other hand, they say he says, and they want them to limit their aggression. Yeah. We don't want people physically attacking each other when they're 15 years old. And they want these 15-year-old boys to obey. Yeah, if they're in school, then we want them to listen to their teachers and the administrators and not randomly attack people, right? But everything is seen as oh, the man is trying to discriminate against poor men. Oh, why does the man want to discriminate against men? Okay, but nothing has to make sense. It's Tucker Carlson and Andrew Tate.
Well, later in the interview, Tucker questioned why anyone would dislike Andrew Tate. Why do
we can't figure it out?
Why are people, finding him distasteful? Well, watch as Andrew Tate claims that, it really has to do with the fact that he encourages people to work out.
So what is it about your message, do you think, that infuriates certain people?
Well, my message is traditional masculinity. My message is to stand up and say what you mean and mean what you say. And even going to the gym nowadays is an act of defiance, because when you have a man who's built with any degree of principle, you say no to things. Lil Nas, he can have sex with the devil in his music videos, that's fine. But I'm dangerous for saying go to the gym.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Humans notorious for wanting to bear down on people who like to work out.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, again, they don't have access to the actual information. So it's so easy to trick people that are watching that are in an information and fact desert, right? But Lil Nas has sex with the devil or whatever the hell he does in a rap video. You know why? Because it's a rap video. It's not real, right? Al Pacino can kill all the people he wants in Scarface and Godfather. There's no consequences for that. Why are we talking about that? That's a movie.
It's fantasy, it's
right?
Fiction, yeah.
Whereas what you did was in real life, and no, they didn't.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but they didn't arrest you for doing videos encouraging guys to go work out. You just made that up. That's got nothing to do with any of the charges. And please, guys, even if you're watching and you don't know the actual facts, one, try to find them out, right? Of everyone, including us, okay? Verify, do not trust, verify. And second of all, when you watch that, you really think the Romanians arrested him because he was doing makeout videos? Come on, guys, a little critical thinking here.
Yeah, and look, we haven't gotten many updates on what is transpiring with that case. We haven't seen any, additional evidence that they plan on using against him. Romania has a different judicial system, so who knows how this is gonna play out. But to downplay the charges against him and make it seem as though, oh, they're just targeting me for these benign things is ridiculous to say the least. I actually wanna skip ahead to the very last video here because you'll kind of get a sense of the type of rhetoric he engaged in, particularly in regard to women on his show. And he was pretty open and candid about how he felt about women. Let's take a look.
What do you think of women?
I think women are some of the most powerful people on the planet, firstly. A lot of the conversations we're having, most people don't understand that women are the gatekeepers and women are the ultimate judges. Women are the ultimate judges, especially of sexual access. Women are more susceptible to programming to a degree. I got called misogynistic by saying that if you sit 100 men and 100 women down in front of propaganda, I believe that women are more likely to believe a lot of it. I think a lot of liberals are female. They're more emotional, and it's easier to convince them of something if you use an emotionally led argument. Women will say all the time, oh, my period was coming up, so I was crazy. They'll say that themselves. So without any kind of hard rock of emotional security, to give her a hug and say, don't worry, baby, calm down, it's okay. When you have no hard rock of emotional security and you leave her to her own devices, she's gonna be to a degree chaotic.
I know nothing about men ever getting emotional, ever, especially on this show. We're getting passionate and fired up. It's only the women, Cenk. It's only the women. It's only the women.
Okay, there's a hilarious irony in this, but first of all, everything is just propaganda for men are awesome and women suck. And that's why it's appealing to young guys who sometimes can't get dates, who are sexually frustrated, and this guy comes along and says it's not your fault, it's their fault. They're always judging you. Yeah. And man, that message is gonna resonate. It sucks that it resonates, and and he's taking advantage of those people. But that leads into one of the greatest examples of irony you just saw there.
I mean,
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're doing propaganda for men that is like over the top obvious. They're like, I was just doing workout videos and the girls made TikTok videos, all of these outrageously obvious lies, right? And the people watching are almost all exclusively men. And they're just eating it up. They're like, oh, this propaganda tastes so good. Oh yeah, women, their brains are so weak. They fall for propaganda right away. As they're falling for propaganda right there in that video. That's amazing.
But also, I mean, like that advice isn't going to help you do better with women. If that's what is frustrating these young men, right? Watching that and thinking like, no, this is actually great advice and I should really double down on whatever frustration and hate I'm feeling toward women right now. And that's somehow gonna help you find and build an incredible relationship with a woman. Like that's just not gonna work out that way. Now with that said though, I think, look, there's a lot of, I hate how everyone treats both men and women as if they're a monolith, right? Women, there's gradations, there are different women who like different things. I have a type, I personally like the traditionally masculine type, that's my thing. But I have friends who like the quiet, sensitive, artist type. There are different types for different women. And to make it seem as though like, no, you have to be super masculine all the time. You gotta crush everyone, work out. I mean, I'm into that, but like not all women are, right? So you're not giving them great advice. And look, I will say this one thing. I think that there's been some messaging toward young boys, young men, about how like, just be the good guy, right? As long as you're the good guy, that's gonna attract the ladies and you're gonna be good to go. And then when, especially when you're younger and girls go for the bad boy or whatever, these young men, young boys, like they feel frustrated about it, right? And so just be you and be confident in who you are. I think that's like the best advice I can give because the confidence honestly is what attracts most women.
So if I wish I had gotten this advice when I was growing up, right? Because a lot of the conversations are nonsense. Should you be nice or should you be a jerk, right? And Andrew Tate is massively in the camp of be a jerk. Like, women are, you should manipulate them. They're easy to manipulate and they're emotional. And we're better than them. And then you should treat them like dirt and then they'll like that. It's no, guys, it's not a matter of whether you're nice or you're a jerk. It's a matter of whether you're confident, period. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't even matter if you work out or not. Does that give you an advantage? Sure, if you look better, whether you're male or female, sorry, but does that make a difference? Of course it does,
and
right?
if you look better, you feel better, right?
All of that is true, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is, are you confident or aren't you? And so that advice that Anna just gave you about being yourself, it sounds cliched, right? No. It's real. The reason it's real is not because, hey, everybody's gonna love who you are exactly, right? Maybe you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan and not every girl loves that, right? No, we're not telling you like, walk right into that and tell everybody, okay, Dungeons and Dragons is the way to go. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. No, but when you realize that it's okay to be you and you project that confidence into the world of, yes, this is me and I love it, right? Then people go, and it's not magic, it just happens subconsciously. People can sense when someone is confident and when they are not. That's the answer. You don't have to be mean to anyone. You don't have to put anyone down. You don't have to be a certain height or a certain weight or you don't need like any of that. The main thing you need is the confidence to be yourself. So don't listen to these scammers and the Andrew Tates of the world leading you in totally the wrong direction.
Yeah, and don't buy into like this false binary of like, should I be the good guy or should I be, one of these boisterous, unbearable, like mean guys, as Andrew Tate is like trying to push upon these boys and these young men. The answer is be yourself. No one wants someone who's gonna be mean and rude to them. Like okay, I've been open about this, right? I like the masculinity, like the traditional masculinity or whatever, but I don't like that. I don't like what Andrew Tate is. That would turn me off right away, right? To me, traditional masculinity to me is someone who wants to protect his family, right? Someone who wants to provide, but also wants to be part of a team. And yes, there's like physical components of that I'm into. It is what it is. I'm just keeping it real. But again, that's not for everyone. And so the definition of masculinity also varies depending on who you ask. That's another thing to keep in mind. Anyway, these guys are getting really bad advice from Andrew Tate, and it's kind of heartbreaking to think about that because he's an idiot.
Yeah, and so look, last two things here. One is, guys, I actually think the Andrew Tates of the world are not confident. When I watch them, I see screaming insecurity, right? Oh, I'm the most confident guy, man. Really, is that what people say when they're super confident? Oh, I like to keep women down. Is that what people say when they're confident? I feel like no. People say things that they are strong about, and they do it. They execute it. They actually live and walk confidently in the world. They don't go around going, "Oh, I'm the confident one because I put other people down." That's like, tell me you're insecure without telling me you're insecure. So I think it screams lack of confidence, and I think it's pathetic, to be honest. But remember, these are two different things. Andrew Tate's videos telling you how to be manly are garbage and hilarious, etc., but not a crime, okay? So that's one thing. What Romania is charging him with is a different thing, saying he specifically raped a woman, he did physical coercion, and he broke other laws in Romania. And so that you didn't see at all accurately described in the Tucker Carlson interview. So buyer beware, as they pretend they're against propaganda, that interview was a giant meta exercise in propaganda.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.